Okay, so I've shown you basically how to draw the front and the back of the hand and the fingers and the segments. Now we're going to try to show the hand in different positions. And this little video here is going to show you how to draw a hand, a pointing hand. Like when we look at our hand and we point it. Again, you know about the warming up of the exercises and stuff that we did to that. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. So as we look at this, as far as this hand is concerned, we can see some very basic shapes here. Like one of the shapes we see here is a shape that's kind of like an opened or widened up box on the end. So we have a shape here that looks like that. Then we have a little oval here that we're going to be drawing, and a little bit of an oval shape here, and then we're going to draw our finger out this way and we'll put our knuckles in. So the first shape we're going to draw is we're going to just very quickly, again, as I sound like a broke record, but very quickly we're going to just, if you need to like make some passes in the air before you commit, and we're going to draw a shape that looks like this. And that basically is the shape I was saying that looks like this kind of box that's opened up on one end like this. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a shape here, an oval that is coming down over the bottom here, which is this meaty part of where the thumb is going to be. And then what we're going to do then, so we have this wide box that's opened up on the one end, and an oval shape here. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to then draw our finger out. We have this little area up here, which is kind of like the muscle or something here, that we can put that in here like this, in the shape like this, and we're going to draw our finger out. Then we're going to draw our segment of fingers. So we've got this shape, a box that's opened up on the one end, kind of a wide end box, and these two ovals here sitting against each other, which represent the muscle and stuff that's right there where the hand is. Then we're going to come up here and we're going to draw our finger out like this. And we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to do our cylinder. We're going to look at our hand, and we've got basically you're going to draw one. You'll draw 1, 2, and then the tip is the final segment. So we have this as our shape. We have 3 kind of rectangle shapes followed by a type of that oval U shape, although it's flattened up at the top here. And then we have this as our finger pointing outward. Then what we're going to do is there's a knuckle here. So we have a knuckle here, and if you look at my hand, we have a knuckle here, and then you're starting to see the other knuckle of where our other finger is. So we have this little bump here of the knuckle here of our pointing finger, and then we have another one that's raised up a little bit higher in the back here. That's where the other finger is going to curve down and be in here. Move that up a little bit. Now, what we're going to do next is we have this shape, and I'll go over this again. With a darker Sharpie, so that you can see a little bit clearer, as you can see the shapes all together. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create this finger that's coming here, and it's going to be again almost like create a triangle shape. So we've got a shape, as you see right in here where this hand is, its finger is. We have this triangular shape. So we had this shape. So if I were to draw it out from the side, you would have a box shape that's wide open like this on the end, and then removing everything else, you have this shape coming in like that. That's your back knuckle, then this is your first finger. But you can see here, and this might make it look a little more easier. You have this shape here. There's basically your hand right there, and your finger is pointing right there in the middle here, or right here. The knuckle is back here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to finish our finger. I'm going to come in here and do this, and it curls up inside here a little bit. So we've got a little bit of that curl up where the finger comes up. It comes here, and as you can see, it comes around this end and comes down this way. And a little bit may show this way, although it's going to be a little obscured by a piece of skin that's going to come right here on the edge here. So when I get this done, I'll go ahead and clear the inch. I'm going to erase some stuff here because it's looking a little confused, and we don't want that. We'll erase a little bit of this out so it doesn't look too... So there you almost got the hand completed. Then you're going to come up and draw your thumb, which is going to come out here. And you're going to make that little shape here. It almost looks, if it's make it easy, you can almost start off making it look like the top. It almost looks like a bowling ball. A bowling pin. Look at this shape here. How much it almost looks like a bowling pin. Because it comes out like this and has a shape like this, and it looks like a bowling pin almost. But I need to curve it a little bit more. So we need to just bring it down and bring it over this way a little bit. So if you can think of it like a bowling pin and with the top of it bent, so to speak. So we have our finger pointing out this way. And then we just put our wrist on, down here in the back. And we have our wrist coming this way. Over the back of it. So I'm gonna go over this with a marker so you can see all these shapes I made. This was kind of a quicker one. But we had, again, a wide open rectangular shape that's here. And I need something that may be a little darker so it doesn't become, so you can see it a little bit better. I got a brown here. Thought I had another blue. So we have this shape here. Okay, then what we did was we created our two oval shapes. We had one oval. This represents the meat, that fleshy part of the hand. We have that here. And then we did another one here. On the lower, this is where your thumb is going to be. Now, I know I've been showing a lot of other details in the hand, like the shading and all the other stuff. I'm just trying to get you familiar with the shapes of it. Then we had our finger that came out. We had another little bump here at the top of that knuckle and we had our fingers coming out. And right now it's starting to look very kind of mechanical, but I'm trying to show you all those different shapes. This back knuckle here represents a finger that's coming down this way and curving in like this. With the flesh coming across that way. So you have your finger like going this way and that way inside here. Then again, we have our thumb coming out this way. Like, remember I said, if you could think of it kind of like a bowling pin, that's where the top of the head of it is kind of distorted or bent over. So you have a shape like that. Again, like all the other shapes you've been working with, we have, rectangular shapes, ovals, cylinder shapes, triangular shapes. You see it here, you see it here. There's another little triangular shape within there. And then we come on and we attach a wrist. We have our wrist on here. On the end here. Now my wrist here, let me see it. Bend it down a little bit more. Then you have a wrist there, and basically you have your entire hand there. So this is how you draw a hand from the side. Broken down again into very simple, something that looks very complicated. And as I do more hands, I'll explain how to break down these forms even more so, because we get more involved shapes, like you're seeing it from this way and the fingers are going in different positions and stuff like that. I'll begin to show you more complicated shapes like that as we go on. So basically, there's your hand pointing. I have all the shapes showing. I went over it with a permanent marker after I did the pencil to just show you how it all comes together. Now, what about it pointing from the front? I'll just get another piece of paper here. Oh, I'm going to have to tighten this up a little bit. Hold on one second. Okay. Should have just used tape. Oop, it's escaping. There it went. Okay. Now, what about pointing the fingers from the front? What about that? So the first shape we're going to do, we're almost going to use a shape that's familiar as the other shape. But this time what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a rectangular box. Again, as opposed to, it's almost like I'm doing it in reverse. But we're going to start with a rectangular box.